Well, this is a fun surprise. Apparently, in what kind of feels like out of nowhere, Jeff Probst decided to publicly announce that Survivor 50 is going to be a returning player season. And the internet collectively lost their minds. Fans and alumni. And there's two things I want to say on this topic. First of all, thank God, because it's been way too long and we have been due for a returning player season. And second of all, why did we need this confirmation to start freaking the fuck out? I guess it's cool to hear from the source to confirm, but I've been living my Survivor fan life assuming season 50 was going to be some big returning player season. It's the 50th goddamn season. It was never going to be anything else, but that's besides the point. While we as a fan base will live in chaos for about 2 years until the releasing of the 50th season, I think it would be a fun time to make a video sort of breaking down how this 50th season will affect Survivor as a whole. What type of season is this going to be? What will the cast of returnees look like? How much goddamn pre-gaming will go down? And how will this affect seasons 47, 48, 49? All of those questions I don't know if I plan on answering in this video, but I wanted to make a point to start a dialogue because all of those are very big things that people will be wondering for a while until we eventually witness it on our television screens. So I'll go point by point, breaking down how I am personally feeling about these things, but at the same time, I want this to be an open discussion. Any thoughts that you have, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear as many opinions as possible. This is an experimental video with the hope of having many conversations moving forward about this 50th season of this historic show. My last note I'll say, if you enjoy this video or this discussion, considering liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It's easy, it's free, and it would mean more than you could ever imagine to just support me in the simplest way. And we would totally be best friends. Aside from that, let's get a move on and talk through what this 50th season of Survivor means to Survivor as a whole moving forward. The first and probably most anticipated question about Survivor 50 has gotta be what the theme of the season will be. It's been the talk of the town ever since Winners at War on what the fans want as the next returning player theme, but also what production wants. However, I'm not a mind reader, so I'm going to bring up what I feel are the most popular options and just kind of discuss the likelihood of all of them. The one that has been tossed around for years upon years upon years has been Second Chances 2, with the fan voting being such a fun and creative way to get a cast selected, and then everybody that is available being one-time players who are hungry for that win and another opportunity. It feels like a slam dunk that you just can't miss with. Nobody is going to be outraged about a Second Chances 2, and with the new era of Survivor specifically being made for players to play just once, there are plenty of options, old school and new school alike. All that I would love to see play again. If I had to select a choice as the most likely option of all the returning player seasons, I think Second Chances 2 is the way to go. Another very popular option that, again, I'm sure the fans would love to see play out is a Legends season of Survivor. And by Legends, I mean the icons of the game coming back to play again one more time from all eras of Survivor. With how the new era is gone, I'm sure some people in this hypothetical cast would be from the new era, but this is kind of for the superfans. Those who felt that the new era has overshadowed 40 seasons of iconic reality television. Giving those people a chance to show why they paved the way for the show the past 50 seasons. I personally don't see a more fitting title or category for a season of this magnitude than a Legends season, the best of the best, winners and non-winners alike. The only issue and hesitation I have is I personally think this might be one of the least likely things Survivor would do. With the trajectory Survivor is going on and how major of a role Jeff Probst has in everything, I just don't think they truly care for a Legends season. They've strayed so far away from the game bots and are much more focused on the Survivor journey and the Survivor experience. Jeff didn't even want to do damn Winners at War back in the day. Why would he be any more inclined to do a Legends season? Especially when he has more of a say nowadays than he did in the past. This would be my top option, but it's simply unrealistic and I would not bank on a Legends season by any means. We can't forget about the new era, no matter how much we try, so there's a very good likelihood, I say about 80%. Most of this cast of this season 50 will be players from the new era. Now, is that something that happens naturally, or does the theme surround the new era as well? Talks of a new era versus old era season, or just like a battle of the new era, are very likely themes that I would not be shocked with. These people in the new era are just itching to go back on that island, I know damn well they are. And Survivor production would love them back as well. So any excuse to cast as many new era players as possible, I think Survivor's gonna take that route. Now, whether it would be a full cast of new era players or half a cast of new era players, allowing players from before season 41 to compete as well in, I'm not sure. That all depends on how production feels and their desire to have pre-41 players back on Survivor, which I will dive into later in the video. For now, these are very likely themes as well and would not shock me in the slightest. These last things I'm going to mention are pretty much long shots, but things that have been circulating around in the community and would be fun if Survivor were to consider them. Return of the Outcast was a Survivor South African season that took a tribe of players who were voted out in the pre-merge against a tribe of players voted out in the post-merge. It's honestly such a fun dynamic, and with how many candidates there are from both sides, I would love to see this. But it doesn't feel very likely as something Survivor would do with their 50th season. Same thing with like a Heroes vs Villains 2, I just don't see them repeating that theme again. I would pretty much rule out any previous returning player season theme as a possibility except for Second Chances. And that's pretty much where we lie with themes. There's limited options, but some exciting ones as well. Theoretically, the theme could be anything, but I think we can read into the production and the fan reception as well to narrow down what the theme could potentially be to a few options, which will bring us to part 2. Who is going to be on this cast of Survivor 50? There are a shit ton of people that could be on this cast, but I'm here to spill the tea and talk the real talk because I don't want us all to be delusional for 2 years and then get let down by this cast. We're just not going to be getting many old school representatives. It's not going to happen. Survivor in their heads has kind of moved past that era. We might get 1, maybe 2 if we're super duper good boys and girls, but that's going to be it. Obviously, a lot of us are fiending for some old school representation back on our screens again. We were very lucky with Amber and Ethan and all that on Winners at War, but we haven't really gotten anything like that in a long time. And some of these people from the old school seasons just deserve that opportunity, but realistically, they're not going to get it. And I wouldn't expect them. Now, on the other hand, expect at the minimum for half this cast to be new era players. And I mean, at minimum, half. No matter what the theme is. Production is loving the new era and loving where the show is at, and when there are so many people who have played just once and are fresh in the Survivor system and fresh in everybody's minds, we're going to be seeing a lot of the new era faces on this cast, I can guarantee you. Now the question is, will we be seeing anybody from pre-41 on the cast? And if so, how many? Again, I'm here to be fully honest and open about what I believe will happen instead of being delusional. This time I do genuinely believe in my heart of hearts that Survivor would bring people back pre-41 if the theme correlated with that. There are a good chunk of people from seasons 35 to 38, yes, I'm not including season 39, that have not gotten an opportunity to play again. The last returning player season was season 40 and that was winners only. David vs. Goliath is one of the most beloved casts of all time. So many people there would be a perfect casting on a Second Chances or a New Era versus Old Era season. And yet we sit here today and Nick Wilson is the only returning player from that season? Are you shitting me? That cannot be the case for much longer, especially after season 50. We need some David vs. Goliath representation. And while we're at it, Jeff needs to keep his damn promise he made to Carolyn Rivera that she is a lock spot on a returning player season sometime. Don't think I forgot that, Jeff. You didn't get her on Second Chances, you didn't get her on Game Changers, and you were like, alright Carolyn, you're a lock, next time we do this, you're on. And then the next time they did this was Winners at War, so he's got to get Carolyn on sometime. While I do think Survivor is trying to stray away from pre-41, I don't think they have erased that from their memory. If the opportunity is there to cast Angelina or Christian or Dominic or Devins or whoever else were big names from pre-41, they're going to do it. It won't be as many people as we would hope for, but I don't think the number is going to be 0, and that's better than some much darker timelines that could definitely exist. We also cannot brush past that Jeff is a shady bitch for announcing this about a year and some change from when the season will be filming. Because of this drop, you know what is inevitably going to happen. Pre-gaming. Whether we like it or not, this is a natural thing that happens with pretty much every returning player season in Survivor's history. And with these new era players that you've seen, if you spent 5 seconds on Twitter or Instagram, they're going to be diving deep into pre-gaming before the pre-gaming even starts. Oh, I promise you, all of these people will be on their best behavior over the next year. No beef, nobody's gonna say a single bad thing about anybody, except for like Venus trashing on her cast because Venus is an icon. We can let that one slide. Regardless, we won't be privy to private messages and DMs and all of that, but even in public spaces, you're going to notice a difference in how these alumni talk to each other, simply for the sole reason of making sure that if they get on to season 50 and that person gets on to season 50, they want the best chance possible to win that damn game. And pre-gaming is nearly half the battle, and I'm so serious. Whether we like it or not, it's inevitable, it's important, and it's gonna happen. However, this topic is more speculative than anything, so I don't want to dive deep into it, at least not yet, because we don't really know much of anything. We just know it's gonna happen. This honestly might be my favorite part of this Season 50 announcement. I love the speculation about what is about to happen in Season 47, 48, and 49. And I don't mean like the format or anything. We all know damn well they're going to be 3 all newbie seasons following the same new era format we're all accustomed to. What I mean by speculating is that will we see some change in the way people play on these seasons? If you get cast for season 47, 48, or 49, and you know season 50 is right around the corner, you might just be more willing to do the quote-unquote flashy or memorable move in order to cement your legacy to get another opportunity on Survivor 50. Not to go on a tangent, but we see this all the time on Big Brother. Players will not play to win, but play to get a call back their first time out. They will hold back certain things or play in ways that aren't optimal if that means they can play again sometime in the future. And we could be seeing the same thing for Survivor here. While I get mad at people who do it on Big Brother, I'm not actually mad at this idea. New Era Survivor is very hit or miss, but if these upcoming seasons will be cranked up a notch to see people make bold and crazy moves just for the sake of making bold and crazy moves, we could have some of the best New Era seasons of Survivor cooking up for us to feast on right before season 50. I'll take some people being a little stupid if it gives us great television. I'm kinda actively rooting for people to ham it up so they have a better chance to get on 50. Don't fade into the background. Channel your inner Jelinski and become a Survivor legend on these upcoming seasons, and we will be entertained, we will love you, and we will await the historic season 50 of Survivor, and you might just be on it. That's the video. This was created pretty much on the fly with the news of Survivor 50 being announced, and this is fully to start a discussion. I don't have any inside scoop on the state of Survivor or what production is thinking. I just think it's an interesting conversation to have. And I'm bored as hell. You can't blame me for wanting to know what y'all think. Sound off in the comments below about any of these topics I discussed today or any points I didn't get to mention. For now, that's gonna do it for me. Stay tuned for plenty of future videos coming your way. My Total Drama series is ramping up with a very controversial season up next. My Survivor 46 review is sure to release after the season is finished, except my review will have a little bit of a twist attached to it. So I'm excited for that. And then afterwards, I'll be diving deep into a reality show that has taken the internet by storm. Plenty of videos on plenty of topics from that traitorous series coming sooner than you think. So we staying busy over here. Follow me on Twitter while we're at it. Link in the description below. I have a blast there, and I would love to talk to y'all there. Let's send it off. If you made it to the end of this video, I love ya. Platonically, of course. And I will undoubtedly see ya when I see ya. Bye-bye.